The Plaster Man. The sound didn't wake you up, the pressure did. It started at 3:13 a.m., a heavy static weight pressing down on the mattress right beside your legs. You live alone. You locked the deadbolt. You checked the windows. But as you lay there, frozen in the paralyzed amber of sleep deprivation, the mattress depressed further, as if someone or something incredibly dense was crawling up the bed toward you. You squeezed your eyes shut, praying it was a dream, until you heard the sound. It was a wet, clicking noise, the sound of a tongue unsticking from the roof of a dry mouth. Click, 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 right beside your ear. You ripped the covers off and screamed, scrambling backward against the headboard, hitting the light switch. The room flooded with harsh yellow light. The bed was empty. There was no intruder. There was no monster. But then you saw it. On the wall opposite your bed, where your dresser used to be, there was a door. It was painted the exact same beige as your walls, but the frame was crooked, warped like melted wax. The handle was cold, rusted iron. You knew every inch of this apartment. You had lived here for 5 years. There had never been a door there. Your heart hammered against your ribs like a trapped bird. You wanted to run out the front exit, but your feet moved you toward the new door against your will. It was a magnetic pull, a supernatural tether reeling you in. As you got closer, you noticed the smell. It didn't smell like rot. It smelled like old dust and powdered chalk, the smell of an abandoned schoolhouse. You reached out. The brass knob turned on its own, grinding with the sound of breaking bones. The door creaked open, revealing not a closet, but a long, narrow tunnel made of raw, pulsing drywall. You stepped inside. You had to. The air in the tunnel was freezing. The walls were soft. As you brushed against them, they yielded like stale marshmallows, leaving the imprint of your fingers deep in the plaster. At the end of the tunnel sat a figure. It was sitting on a wooden chair, facing away from you. It was shaped like a man, but its skin was white, flaky, and hard. It was a statue made of dried drywall mud. "Hello?" you whispered. The word died instantly in the muffled air. The figure stood up. The sound of cracking plaster filled the tunnel, a sickening crunch like stepping on dry leaves. It turned around. It had no face, just a smooth white surface where features should be. But then the surface began to crack. A fissure opened where a mouth should go, dusting white powder onto the floor. "You have too much skin," it rasped. The voice sounded like sandpaper rubbing together. The tunnel behind you slammed shut. The Plaster Man lunged. He didn't move like a human. He moved like a stop-motion puppet, jerking forward in impossible, snapping increments. You fell backward, scrambling away, but the floor had turned into deep, wet cement. You were sinking. The creature crawled on top of you, its weight immense, crumbling white dust into your eyes, blinding you. Its fingers, sharp shards of hardened gypsum, traced your cheek. "Soft," it hissed, "so wet." You felt a pulling sensation, not pain, but a cold detachment. You looked down at your hand. Your skin wasn't yours anymore. It was turning gray, drying out, flaking away in large chunks to reveal nothing but dusty white chalk underneath. You opened your mouth to scream, but your jaw locked. Your tongue had calcified. The last thing you saw before your eyes hardened into marble was the Plaster Man peeling off his own white shell to reveal your face underneath. He smiled with your lips, blinked with your eyes, and stood up, stepping out of the wet cement that held you. He walked toward the door to your bedroom, turning off the lights as he left you there in the dark, a permanent fixture of the wall, waiting for the next tenant to hear the scratching.